Happy Friday, everyone. I'm super excited to do a live stream after the holidays, and I'm joined by Bashbunni. So we're going to talk about Bashbunni's open source journey, lots of tech stuff, open source, and more open source. But before we get started, Bashbunni, please give yourself an intro and tell us about your name and why Bashbunni, and we want to hear all about you.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Bashbunni. I go by Bashbunni and keep my legal name private for, safety reasons on the internet, being a female and all that. So a little bit about me. So my name Bashbunni actually does come from the Bash shell for Linux. Big Linux lover. Okay. Um, so that's that. I am a software developer who primarily specializes in Go right now. I got my first, I'm quite early in my career still. So I got my first software development related job this year. And I also am a technical content creator. So I build in public on Twitch and share what I'm learning on YouTube as kind of like more curated content and all of that stuff. And
Links in the description below, everyone, by the way.
thank you. And then I also do I lead the developer relations at Charm, which is like an open source Go company that builds developer tools. So yeah,
That
that's a
is
little bit about
awesome.
me.
So we're really gonna dig deep into that. I'm just gonna share your Twitter in the chat and also your GitHub as well. So let me bring it up on the screen. So everyone do go follow Bashbunni and put your questions in the chat as well. We're here to geek out with you today. So we're super excited. Let's give some shout outs as well. Imran, you're first. Awesome to have you here. Thank you so much. Anurag, Siddharth. Hopefully I'm pronouncing everyone's names right. Great to have you here, and any questions do write in the chat. So yes, we're doing fine today. Thank you so much, Imran, for asking. Bashbunni does do lots of live streaming and YouTube content. So Twitter, I think you live stream on Twitter and put videos on YouTube, is that correct?
Yes, I don't really live stream on Twitch. Yeah, I live stream on Twitch
Sorry,
mostly.
Twitch.
And then sometimes I live stream on YouTube. Don't tell Twitch.
Okay.
But I love YouTube as a platform. It's so fun. I'm having a lot of fun creating videos and stuff like that. It's such a different challenge than live streaming. So I started live streaming on Twitch in like 2021, like early 2021. And just to like have time every week that's like allocated to just hacking away on side projects. Cause at the time I was working and in school, and like balancing the two is like really hard, especially when you're also trying to add in time to consistently work on side projects. It's like, it feels kind of impossible. So that was kind of my life hack at the time. I was like, you know what I could do? I could live stream, because then I'm forced to work on something that I could actually show on stream, right?
Exactly right. I think it holds us accountable. So I keep telling people, like, don't think about creating content. Think about documenting your journey, because then that way, you kind of hold yourself accountable because you're doing something. And if you make mistakes, it's absolutely fine. We all make mistakes. I find it so funny that when I live stream, or actually when I create a video and someone says, Eddie, you managed to create that project in like 6.5 minutes. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Like,
it took me like 6 days, and you're seeing like the best parts of it. So that's why live streaming is just awesome.
Yeah, it's like my approach with social media. So like, ironically, I'm probably the most like anti-social media content creator. Just because like I feel like social media can kind of be this thing where it looks just like this highlight reel of like your life. And I think that seeing all of that on a daily basis, you're just seeing like, oh my gosh, everyone else is thriving. Like, what about me? Like, I'm going through some hard stuff. Like, why is it so easy for them? That's where my approach to content creation and like my social media presence is like more so of like, I like showing the behind the scenes, and I like trying new things where I know I'm going to struggle, because it's important that people know like, yeah, you're not alone. Like, yeah, coding is amazing. It's so fun, but it's also really hard. And like,
Yes.
if it's not really hard, it's because you're like comfortable with what you're doing. But as soon as you're out of your comfort zone, like, yeah, it's going to be hard and it's going to be technical, and there's like so much to know. you know?
Exactly. And it's not just even the technical side, because then you've also got to communicate, you've got to collaborate, you've got to write good issues, you've got to raise good pull requests. And by good pull requests, I don't just mean the actual changes, the coding changes to the project. I mean kind of, a good description, a good title, and so there's just so much to it, and it's so fun. But like you said, it's all hard. So we've got also more people in the chat. So Tech Doofus, awesome to have you here. Chrissy's here as well. Awesome. Creative Null, some interesting names here as well.
Hi, Creative. Creatives from my community. Hi.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, he
Welcome.
streams as well on Twitch. So shout out to Creative.
Cool. Yeah, big shout out. Yeah, what name do you stream on? Creative Null as well on Twitch?
Yeah, he is.
Perfect. Okay, I love it when the name's the same across all platforms. It's a lot easier to follow
I know.
people.
I was like so sad when I couldn't take my Twitter username, but I found a suitable alternative instead.
That's
Pseudo
good.
Bunny.
Nice. That is a good name.
Give me root privileges only. Thank
Exactly. Raj, awesome to have you here. Okay, and we got a question from Anish. How best to get started with Go and the CLI?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So I actually started using the command line more before I was like a very comfortable or competent developer. So I had learned Python at the time, and so I was trying to figure out like doing how I could start doing more coding at work. So at the time, I was working as a systems administrator. So I was mostly working on like managing users, doing like IT support, and also overseeing our what's it called, like Microsoft tenants and stuff like that. So like I was doing just a lot of stuff with that, and so I was trying to find ways that I could to like automate different tasks that I was getting at work with Python. But then when it comes to the CLI, I realized that I could also, with scripting, like with something like PowerShell, I could also automate a lot of my like account management stuff. So that's kind of like one way that you can start incorporating more programming experience into your daily, even if you're not doing it professionally yet. And also kind of like my intro to command line. But honestly, CLI, there's so many CLI tools that are out there, and the easiest thing is like I haven't read any books on it. I haven't really like taken any courses on like how to use the command line. It's just like I would be like, hey, okay, I wonder how I can see all of the folders and files that are in my current directory. Let me look up what the command is for that. And like just slowly exploring like, oh, okay, like if I can do this with a GUI, I know that I can do it with the command line. So how do I do it? And thankfully, Google's really good at answering that.
That's so true. And I think a lot of these technologies, so if it's Go, JavaScript, whatever it is, they have great communities, and they have multiple communities. So I'd always highly recommend people to join a few communities and see which ones they like, and then get involved there. Any Go communities 100%. You recommend?
Yeah, so the Gopher community, they have a Slack that's really active. They got a lot of members there. I 100% agree on that as well. Like, I think people underestimate the value that it brings for you to simulate immersion in your learning experience. Like, that's what people are getting in university, and that's like one of the biggest pros of university is that you're surrounded by like-minded people who have they're all working towards a similar goal, and you've got professionals who are knowledgeable in the field that you can ask questions to and things like that. And you can 100% like simulate a similar environment online if you make an effort to just to find these communities and ask around, be on Twitter, be on the socials, follow people who have goals that are like relevant to what you're also interested in. And then to also talk about some of my favorite Go resources, because I know they asked about that as well.
Yeah.
Learn Go with Tests is incredible. That I basically started with Learn Go with Tests, and then I have a copy of the Go, like an ebook of the Go programming language to use as a reference, and hands-on software engineering with Go also as an ebook. I like ebooks when it's something that's like a more technical book, because then I can search it in a similar way. Like if I was going to like Google something, I could actually just search the ebook for the same terms, and then I also don't have to like be like, how reliable is this source? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Or
true.
like, is it super outdated? Whereas the books tend to be like have quite timeless like solutions for things.
That's good. And you're right, some things do get out of date, so people do need to be careful where they get what they learn, because people, there's no point learning something that's a bit old and out of date. So I think that's important.
Yeah, I found that was my biggest challenge with learning JavaScript when I first was trying to self teach it. It's just like it felt like there were so many different ways to do the same thing, and I was so confused with even just like arrow functions versus like classes versus just I was like, do they do the same thing, or is one like the old version, one's the new version, and like which one is it? And I would and then it was like official docs would have like the classes, but then I was like, but aren't arrow functions the new way? And anyway, but eventually I did learn it, and so we don't have that trauma anymore. It's fine.
That's good. I'm just thinking, I've got loads of questions here and loads of things I want to cover, and I'm conscious of time. So I've got some ideas. I'd love to hear people's thoughts of what we should do next. I don't think we can do everything. And I was thinking of creating a poll. I don't know what you think, Bashbunni, but these are the ideas I think we briefly discussed, and I thought of some more. So I thought, in no particular order, these are some of the ideas, and add some more if we need. One is one option is to learn about the Charm project. Another one is for Bashbunni to review the link-free repo from an open source perspective.
Yeah.
Another one is for me to review. I do reviews on Livestream. So one is to review your GitHub profile, and then a fourth option I thought is for you to review my GitHub profile. So should I create a poll on those? What do you think?
Yeah, I like all those ideas. Those are fun.
Okay, let's do it, and we can still chat at the same time. So okay, that poll has gone out. Everyone, please vote.
My poor GitHub is actually so neglected right now. That would be such a you could absolutely rip apart my GitHub and it
No,
would be
not at
fine.
all. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to give some ideas and some thoughts, and that's what I'd love actually on the link free project is as well. But while we're waiting for everyone to vote, I'm just going to have a look at the chat. So we talked about getting started with Go, which I think is awesome. So thank you so much for that. Lots of people say they follow your content already, which is amazing.
Aw, thank you.
If anyone doesn't, links are in the description below. Go follow Bashbunni, and I'll drop those in the chat again in a moment. And just shout out to a few more people. So we've got Raj, Pritam, Irtan, hope I pronounced that right. I'm terrible at names, I'm so sorry. Sean is here, awesome to have you here, Sean, as well. And we've got, and I want to be terrible at this name, so I want to bring it up on the screen. I don't know how to pronounce this, I'm so sorry. Guy Lucia, something like that. I'm so sorry, I've butchered that. Out of 10, that's probably like a 2. So yes, apologies, I'll practice more for that as well. Let me bring up your GitHub profile because people are saying they like your Gopher. Yeah,
I know.
animated
As soon as I
Gopher.
found out that I could put GIFs in my README there, I was like, done. We're putting this dancing gopher in there. I have that as an emote on Twitch as well.
Oh, nice. And what else have we got? So we've got, let me see. Abdullah says, can we mention some of those communities again? So could you mention the Go community that you mentioned? Obviously, it's Eddie Hub as well. I recommend that for the open source community, but for Go communities, we'll leave that to
The Go
Bashbunni.
community. So like obviously I have my own communities through like Stream and so if you went to my Twitch and did like ! Discord, there's that. But if you're looking to be part of like the bigger Gopher community, I don't know how to find. I have to look at where to find the link again. I think I actually found it through Whales, which is a I don't even remember the website. But Whales is basically like allows you to have a traditional like web front end with a Go back end, and you can build a desktop app with that.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So it's like Ruby on Rails, but like Go.
Got you.
Yeah, which is super fun. But yeah, I don't know if I have I don't think I have the link to the Slack. I could try and open it, but
No worries, don't worry. If you mention a name, they can search for it and hopefully find it.
I'll tweet it out after this.
Okay, perfect.
There we go.
And then Dan says, does anyone use the O'Reilly Animal books? I used to collect those. I had a whole shelf or
They're
two shelves
great.
in my house, but they get out of date, I think, after a while. So I stopped buying those and I just use the official documentation now.
Yeah,
and
I
YouTube
think it
videos.
depends on the I think it depends on the language a lot. because some languages just change, like syntactically change over time, and like others are pretty consistent with like how they approach things.
Okay, that's good. We've got a few creative. Null says cats. Yep, I can hear
I
hear
know
the
my
cat.
cat's just like he's been so needy the last couple days. Like even yesterday, I was trying to record and he literally was like all around my desk for like 30 minutes and then ended up burrowing himself like right behind me on the chair. It's
Oh, I
just
think I
like
saw your tweet about that. Did you tweet his
yeah,
picture? Yes, I think I saw that.
like it's
Great
a little
photo.
excessive, dude.
And we've got Codder says hi. I think they follow you already. We've got Rob.
Yeah.
Oh, Bashbunni's written in the chat. Awesome. Oh, and
Oh, that's me.
Wales
Awkward.
spelt. No, no, perfect. And Wales spelt differently. So thank you so much for adding
Yeah.
the name of that. That's super important. Shavam, good luck with your exam tomorrow. Thanks for joining our live
Good
stream.
luck.
Okay, I pronounced the name terribly, but I should get better. It's a Turkish name apparently, and I'm from Lebanon, so I should should get better at that. Okay. Okay, I was just gonna. Sorry, go ahead, Bashbunny.
Should we talk? I mean, oh wait, we have poll results,
We
but also
do.
was wondering. Oh yeah, we can do that, and then I'm also happy to like talk a little bit about open source and like how
to get
how
started.
it helped me with my learning journey, like basically going from creating my first ever application to like having a job that is fully open source.
Oh, okay. Now you've thrown. We didn't have that as one of the options, but okay. Let's. They voted, and it's definitely winning for you to review my GitHub profile. I think it's because mine never gets reviewed. So
Oh, okay.
I think they want you to roast me, as I think someone mentioned. So let me
I'll
bring
do
up
a gentle
mine.
roast, a
Okay.
simmer.
That's fine. No, go all out. It's about time I got some back. So this is my GitHub profile. Just, you know, we want it honest. We want it authentic. Just you go for it. And everyone else, leave your thoughts in the chat as well. And then we'll talk about your open source journey and how you got to where you are now, so other people can learn from that. I think it's a great topic. Okay, so when you want me to scroll
Alright.
down, let me know.
Okay. So you got a lot of repos there. You got some projects. Immediately, I'm curious about how you organize your projects
Oh
because
no.
I'm so nosy. I'm like, what are those? What exact tasks does he have in there, and what state are they in?
I don't know. I haven't looked at that in a while, so I'm a bit nervous. Do you want me to open it?
Yes.
Oh no. Okay. It'll be on the classics.
Wait,
Okay.
are these private?
Oh yeah, they are
Oh, they're
private.
private?
Three
Should
are
I-
private.
Oh, but
Which
there's two that are
two
not
that are
private?
public. I think these might be out of date because I moved it to private because I think I had two people give me too many ideas and I'd get lost in what I was doing. As I loved their ideas, it was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But I got too lost and it was going too faster than I could create videos. So in the
Yeah,
end, I moved
can
it to
relate.
private. So this is actually some homework for me. I'm going to leave this open because I think I need to tidy this up. So thank you so much. Okay, maybe we'll hide off that for the moment.
All right, let me open it on my own side as well,
Okay,
so that I
perfect.
can.
And I see the chat's going crazy. Okay, so we've got fellow Lebanese, yes. Lots of GitHub swag in my photos. And we're doing a giveaway for the Linkfree project. So everyone check out my Twitter that we're doing a giveaway. If you create a profile on Linkfree, we're going to give some GitHub swag away as winners. But I'll talk more about that towards the end.
Ooh.
Yes, so super excited for our open source project.
Okay, I have another point to mention about your profile.
Yes, go ahead. Give it to me.
I'm slightly horrified that you're using light theme.
Oh,
Slightly.
what? Someone else said that. Where is it? I saw that in the chat. Yes, Dan. But for me, I started with GitHub so many years before dark mode came out, like so many years, that for me, I love dark mode and VS Code and Terminal. But GitHub seems really weird when it's not in light mode. It just seems so strange. But no.
I'll allow it. I'll allow
Okay.
it.
Who will allow it in the chat? Do you agree? I think everyone uses dark mode, I'm guessing, as well. So I'm guessing you use it in dark mode too.
Sometimes I'll tolerate it, but then I find if I'm working late at night, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a migraine from like light mode.
Fair enough.
But okay, I'll admit I do use light mode if I'm working outside and it's like
Yes.
sunny out or something like that. All right, let's continue with the roast.
Okay, yeah, Amanda's loving this. Amanda says, asking the hard questions straight away. I know.
Okay, so seeing it, yeah. Look, I'm looking around. So your README is very oriented to. You're part of the GitHub Stars program. Love
Yep.
that. Love that. I think I actually saw your little star on the Star Walk when I was at GitHub Universe.
I was so sad not to go, and I think I saw your picture at GitHub Universe. I was like, oh, I'm so jealous I didn't go.
It was really fun. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to admit it was really fun. You should go next year.
I will go next year for sure. So the Star Walk, yeah, someone sent me a picture of my star, and I was super happy. So
yeah, no, it's super great. Okay, so there's a lot here about your socials, about your community, which is awesome. It means that when people come to your profile, it's like if they're looking for that same immersion that I was talking about, they can easily find that through your community, which is awesome. Got some testimonials. I guess that's for Eddie Hub. So that's a little confusing for me, but I also am bad at reading, so I could,
they were actually before I think Eddie Hub came about, or had just started. So these testimonials were for me, I think. But yes, now we have Eddie Hub. I think.
You're like, wait.
My memory's so bad. I'm old. I think Amanda said, Amanda, you're not old. I'm old. So yeah, I think maybe it's time for me to update those. They've been there for quite a few years.
There we go. I'm calling out all of the old stuff on your profile.
If anyone wants any green squares, please raise all these suggestions as issues on my profile. You can click on it up here. And I'll implement some of them, maybe not all of them, but it's great to know. I'll forget after the live streams. My memory's terrible. So yes. Okay, so keep going.
Okay, so
great.
this is okay. So one thing that I'm noticing is like your profile is obviously a great entry point for people who are wanting to, be part of the community, have that immersion, have that online network. But one thing that I'm also noticing is that it shows what you've been working on recently. But maybe there should be a place to like point them to like, hey, by the way, this is what we've been working on together. Or like, hey, if you want to see what the community is up to, like what we're all doing, like you could have some like featured repos that are like pinned repos that are, I
love that.
related, so that then they can be like, oh, okay, so he creates content about open source. Like what's he hacking on, or like what's the community working on, and then it can like pique their curiosity, and then it brings them there, and then they're like, okay, cool, code, I can do this.
Yes, I love that. Okay, someone please raise these as issues, because that's amazing. You're right. We have got the Link Free project and other Eddie Hub projects that are doing really well. I don't know why this one's still up there, because that's like archived, I think, now. So I definitely need to sort this out. This is great. Like, this feedback is so awesome. I really need it. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm happy to do it.
Great. Okay, keep going. But when you're done, we'll go on to the next thing. So
okay,
I'll tally up to you.
I'll be kind of relatively quick. I'm doing a quick little scroll through your repos.
Okay.
So I suggest you do the same as a host of the stream right now, the boss. Right? Because I'm telling you what to do for the.
Yes, sorry, I was looking at the chat. Right, repos. Okay, repos. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yes. So I love it. You're calling me out every time. This is perfect. Okay. I don't know why this is at the top. Usually it's the most active projects at the top, right? I don't know why that's there.
Before you start scrolling around, if there are any private ones you want to keep private, you can change the type filter to just public.
I don't think I have any private. No,
okay.
I think I might do some really old ones.
There's like 30, like I only see 269 repos.
Okay, they would be way down. They're so old.
Okay, cool.
But that's good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Streamer things. I'm always like, I know what to beware of on the live streams. Okay, cool. So it looks like there's some of these that have a ton of activity, and some of them that are less active. So just a quick little scroll through. I'm very curious, this DevRel presentation. I don't know what this is.
I think this is really old. I've moved this, I think, into like Keynote, Google Slides, because some places, they wanted it in Google Slides. So I think I moved. I coded it though in Reveal.js, so therefore it was deployed out. But I think it's really old. It hasn't been updated in a while.
Okay, so then it seems a common theme of that I would want to see from your profile is like,
Okay.
I'm obviously curious about what you're hacking on or like what the
I
people are working
see.
on. So I feel like it's like not super obvious.
Yes, you're absolutely
You don't
right.
have any pinned projects. Or
I
like
have
you do, you
two,
have the
but they're
open source
not.
tips and the link
Yeah,
free.
you're right. Open source tips is more archived, so that should go. But link free, I should add some more EdiHub ones. I'm mostly focusing. Let's do it right now. I'm mostly focusing on EdiHub projects. So let's remove this one, and let's see what else we can do from EdiHub. Yes. So remove GIS. Don't need that. But you're right. I should add one. So we've got EdiBot. What else have we got? Good First Issue Finder and Live Map are the popular ones. So there's 4. This is great. Making like changes real time. So hopefully that looks a bit better now.
Yeah, the perfect live stream. That's always how it goes. Doing it online, then like also what could go wrong, right?
Exactly. Nothing's gone wrong so far. So
Okay,
it's
cool.
just
Yeah,
looking
see,
bad.
this is great because now you're also seeing like I see the Eddie bot there, where it's like
Yes.
little Discord bot, right? So like,
Yes.
it's cool too because it's like I think one common project with like technical creators is like, hey, let's build some bots, right? Because like
Yeah.
if you're streaming, you can use the bot. If you're Discord, you know, you have a Discord, you can use the bot. And I feel like yeah, that's a project that is going to come to mind for people, and they might try and find that. So that's great.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, that looks way better already. And so this is totally just like a fun idea. I
Sure.
don't know if you already have a place where you keep like different project ideas for people if they're looking for like things to
Oh,
build.
I don't.
So
Ooh.
what I did at work recently, because like we're obviously a Go project. So what I did recently at work is we have a repo that's like it's called Inspo, but it's just like dedicated to project ideas for people to like in the discussions like create new project ideas, and then people can like create an issue being like, hey, I'm building this now, like I want help with like I want other contributors like come help me. And then once they've like we have a definition of like complete that like has some kind of basic guidelines of like, you know, has a good readme and like has the basic functionality fleshed out for the idea. Once that's done, we'll actually PR it into the markdown files for like basically
I
for the readme
see.
of the
Okay, got
inspo
you.
project. So it's like, hey, you can check out this cool project, like this is the idea for it, and like here's a link to it.
I love that because we have got lots of project ideas and we haven't had time to do them. But you're right, the community could do them and we could link to them to give them more of a shout out. So
Yeah.
I need someone needs to like tag me in Discord or raise an issue. Raise an issue. Actually, just keep everything on GitHub. Raise an issue so I can do that. I think it'd be great for EdiHub to have somewhere where we can raise some ideas and then people can go and create them themselves. Because
Yeah.
Paduma, who's in the chat, has done a CLI for the link free project, which I think is awesome.
Oh, fun.
And so CLI kind of to create your link free profile. And Amanda's looking after our live map project, and Dan's helping on Linkfree, and so many other people are involved. But then there's spin-off projects from this, and they're getting ideas that people could create. So you're right, it'd be a great place just to log lots of project ideas. I love that. Okay, that's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, it's super fun. And I feel like that's something that comes up all the time is just like, how do I get more project ideas? You know? And like, I feel like when you're doing it every day, you're like bleeding project ideas. You know, you have so many, but like
Yeah.
just sharing it, having a place that you can like put it and like other people can see it and like people can, you know, go back and forth on it is like so nice.
No, that's so true. I really love that. These are amazing ideas. And, you know, love Pavan, I hope I pronounced that right, says, love Eddie Hub. Thank you so much. Me too. You're all amazing. And Praduma's like, says, love your idea, Bashbunni. So that's awesome. And Amanda as well. So perfect. This is great. Okay. Thank you so much, Chrissy, for raising. I appreciate it. Awesome. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now I've
I think
been
that's
roasted.
the end of that's all I've got.
No, that was perfect. So many great ideas. Absolutely love it. We should do that more often. What should we do next? What do you feel like doing next? As you're my guest, I'm going to let you choose. Do you want to talk about your journey into open source?
Yeah, maybe I'll talk about that a little bit because it might be valuable for the people who don't know that story to
Perfect.
kind of hear how it's affected me. I do feel like my route for my jobs in general have been like a little like off the beaten path. So like I've thankfully I've always had pretty good like networking skills, and a lot of my job opportunities have come through like networking skills plus like them knowing the right people and like them knowing my skills as well, you know? So so my first contribution to open source, I have to think back on like what that was. It was absolutely 100% documentation. No, like no
Okay.
question. It was like probably fixing a typo or something like that.
Mine
But
too. Mine too. I think everyone starts like that.
100%. Well, because like I think genuinely like the um even just learning how to like, you know, I mean making an issue is like not that bad. But then like you're like, oh, okay, so especially if you are like an author and you are trying to figure out how like Git branches work and like trying to figure out like how you should like what your commit messages should say and like all of these things, you don't want to get judged in your first PR. Um but like even just doing that process from like issue to pull request to merged is like a can feel like a very scary thing at first. So I think like starting it with documentation, no shame in that at all, because like just it's such a great entry point to like working with that flow and getting comfortable with that. Um, so I actually started building in public, and that helped me land my current job. So they discovered me both through the Gopher community and
Awesome. Love
the
that.
fact that I was building with their tools. It was a
Amazing.
bit of a different situation though, because so like they noticed it because it had a lot of stars because I was obviously building it on Twitch. So like that was like what made it get noticed. But my other coworkers and also at other open source companies that I've collaborated with, one big thing that they say is like the people that are super invested in the community, the people that are like just passionate about the project and like helping them with like, you know, different issues and different like PRs and like whatever, just like people who want to get involved and are making an effort to do that and like to reach out if they have questions and like whatever. um they're typically and who are building with it if it's developer tools and they're using it and they're showcasing how they're using it. That is that's going to really make you stand out for that company, and they're going to like they look to their own contributors first
Yes,
generally
definitely.
in their hiring like process.
No, I completely agree. And when my clients always say, you know, where can we hire good people? I say, look at the people contributing to your projects or creating content on your projects.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many people in the in the whole open source community, but especially EdiHub, but getting hired as technical writers because they've been contributing documentation, or getting hired as DevRels because they're doing that and putting themselves out there. And
Creating those
so I think
tutorials like
yes,
pretty much DevRel. Your job as DevRel is the exact same, or like not exact same, but like it's like 90% what you would be doing if you are creating, if you have your own brand and are um, like creating content for that and building in public with that and like all of it's like the skills 100% transfer. So like if
exactly.
you're looking to be DevRel, like be DevRel, have your own personal brand and like start doing it, right?
It's true, and I think, you know, if you can demo that if people can demo they can do it, then the company, you're going to skip the interview processes, or it's going to be a lot shorter. Like this, it's just like one kind of
Yeah.
friendly chat rather than can you do this, because they seeing you do it already. So I think that's just
Which is
such a
nice.
great
Like
story.
I get so nervous with like technical interviews, but the thing is like I'm not nervous building in public, you know, like because it's just kind of like an app. Like I feel like when I'm for some reason it's like if you're in an interview, it's like, oh, I feel like I should know everything so that they know that I'm like a good candidate. Versus when you're building in public, it's like, okay, well, here's where I'm at, and like take it or leave it. You know, like I'm
Ex-
not gonna make excuses. It's just like where I'm at in my learning journey.
Exactly, and they can see that, right? You don't even have to kind of explain it or be nervous about it. Maybe they've missed something. They can see it, and I think that's
Yeah.
why it's so useful. And that's why I recommend to people who are getting into freelancing, put your pricing public on your webpage. And they're like, oh, but I'm not sure. I said, no, because when people come to you, they've seen the pricing. Therefore, you don't have to negotiate. That's your pricing. And it's the same with your skills with open source. Like you said, you're putting yourself out there. People can see it. And if they've approached you, then they know what they're getting already. And it's just the best for everybody. So I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
networking is amazing. And that's like one thing as well. So like I mentioned the one side of like, obviously if you're super active in like the communities for companies that are open source, but like even just on a personal basis, if you're trying to like, so everyone has their own skill sets that they're really good at, right? Like, I can help somebody who's new to NeoVim get like a lot more comfortable with NeoVim. Someone who's like a better Go developer than I am can look at my code and say, oh my God, how does this even run? And tell me how to fix it. You know what I mean? So like everyone can add value in their own ways. And what's nice about that is that like through open source, so like if there is someone who's building something that you love their tool, you want to help them, you want to see them succeed. Not really thinking necessarily like, what can I get back from this? But like trying to like learn through that person that like you think is doing a great job, seeing what their pull requests look like, seeing how they're interacting with their code. What it like if you're confused about what a good commit message should be, looking at their commit history and maybe they're not all good. And like that's the reality. Like but just like the nice thing is that like everything's kind of an open book in that situation. And the thing is too, is that if you make it known that like, hey, I love this project. I'm desperate to contribute. Like I really want to see it succeed and I really want to help. How can I help? What's the best way? Reaching out like that, like for someone who is either, like maybe even a solo maintainer or like it's their baby, like that means a lot to know. Like the worst is when you've built something and nobody uses it. Right. So like having a user and like having users that are like praising you or like thankful for like what you've built is also a great way to network. Right. Like if they can, anyone who's like good at programming, often it's like they want to help others and like they want to see others succeed. Pretty much anybody who says otherwise or like tries to tear you down, it's like they're projecting their own insecurities, and that's a whole other thing.
That make a good Twitter space actually.
Yeah. But it's a great opportunity as well to like actually get to talk to these more experienced developers and like maybe have them like they're obviously like not everyone has like a ton of time to give you like full on mentorship, but you can like get like little bits from like different people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like you help them if you're like you show that you're actually like you're eager to learn and you really want to learn from them. That's like really adorable, and they're going to want to help you.
It's so true, right? People want to help people who want to help, right? So it's just kind of this like Lego building blocks, like just as one person adds a block, doesn't matter the size of the block, it's about adding value. Then someone else is going to add more value, which then we can just keep building on each other. I think that's such great advice, and it's great to see some of the comments in the chat about as you were talking. For example, Chrissy says anyone can add value in their own way. Absolutely, getting that fresh perspective is super important. And someone said, where is it? I've lost it now. The chat's moving a bit faster for me, but. It was, I do want to find it, but can't find typos. Check out any project. There's 101 typos. Go find them. Yeah. There'll be loads to find. Abdullah, we'll come back to your question in a moment. That's a really good question as well. But Chrissy says, let's end the myth of coders are the only ones who can contribute. Actually, coding is a small part, I think, of contributors, right? There's documentation, automated testing. Such a good topic. DevOps. Can I mention something? Yeah, jump in. Go ahead. I love it. So obviously I create all the content for Charm as well. So I'm going to tag our YouTube channel real quick. Like that's the name of it. So we literally just filmed we're starting a mini series for non-code, specializing in like non-code contributions. Yes. So our first episode that we've already filmed is basically like the more well-known ways that you can contribute to open source, like non-code contributions, and like why would we even talk about this and who it applies to and all of that stuff. And then episode number 2 is going to be really interesting because it's going to be like
less known ways that you can contribute to open source. So like the obvious ones, of course, like with documentation is like a super obvious one to like give you a little, preview, I guess. But that's a super obvious one. But there are tons that are less known. But if you're like a really good writer, or you're like a really good designer, or you're like really good at other skills, there's still so much value that you can add. And we're kind of highlighting that in the series. So that's actually coming out. Episode 1 is on Tuesday, and then it'll be like every few weeks there's going to be another episode out. And then episode number 3 is also going to be a panel of like different experts in the field who have some fun inputs on that and like knowledge about different non-code contributions that you can do. So that's like just hilarious that somebody that like that just got mentioned, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I literally just filmed that.
That's perfect. I mean, because even other questions, how to get into open source. So this is kind of like, absolutely perfect timing as well. I think it's great. And, I contribute to open source every day. That's what I do full time. But
oh, that's so nice. Yeah. I guess I kind of do too.
Yeah, no, you do.
I was like, wait, my company's open source. I do that as well.
But coding is a small part of it, which is, I think, super interesting. And Dan says they hate whiteboard interviews. And I think the great thing is if you're putting yourself out there in open source or content creation, I think someone else had to get started in content creation with open source. So we'll get onto that in a moment. But by putting yourself out there, doing open source, which is kind of, I feel, content creation, then you're making it a lot easier. You don't have to go through those silly whiteboard interviews. But actually on that topic, let's answer this question. How to start creating content while contributing to open source? What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, so the easiest one is you could literally live stream you contributing to open source. And like what's valuable about that, so like, I mean, I didn't necessarily, I'm not a 10x dev yet, okay? I'm not a 10x dev yet. And, but what people find interesting is that I talk through my thought process while I'm building. So I'm like, oh, I think like maybe this is a good solution. Maybe this one will be the better solution. And like, it's kind of entertaining for the people who are like the more experienced devs, because they're like, I know what the best solution is, but I want to see her figure it out, right? It's like entertaining for them to like watch me struggle. And then for the new people, for like the newer devs, it's like interesting to just like see other people's like thought process around how they can solve the problem, right? So yeah, the number one that I would say is like you can live stream it 100%. If you don't feel like comfortable doing that, you can, or you prefer a written format or something like that, even just reflecting on your learnings. So like that's a question that you get asked all the time in interviews. They're probably going to see, oh, okay, you built this project. What did you do well with that project? And what did you struggle with? That's like some of the best reflection that you can do as a developer, and also like in your career, is like if you can be very self-aware of like, hey, I love this project. It's my best project yet. This is what I did really, really well. And here's what I could do better. Like even showcasing that as even like a blog post, or in a blog post in a YouTube video or something like that. Like, or even in a tweet thread.
Yes, exactly.
Like it doesn't have to be anything too crazy, but reflecting on those things is going to put you in a really, really good position to not only do the technical things, because you're already doing that, you're learning, but to do the next step, which is to be able to talk about the very complex things in a simple way and show that you're aware of like what you're doing, you're self-aware, and you're able to like learn and grow from that and keep going.
I love that. Basically document what you're doing, be it written format, video, tweets,
yeah, whatever your favorite format is.
Yeah, exactly.
Even Instagram loved that. I'm kind of like, I've totally neglected Instagram as a platform these days, but even then, like just a photo, I would just post a photo and I would be like, this is what I was working on. I was really struggling to figure out how to like test the integration, doing integration tests with my database. I had no idea how to do that. And like, here's what my friend said. And like, just almost like a little journal for like your learning journey is also like super entertaining and valuable for people that are like maybe not there yet or in a similar spot, and like interesting to see even for more experienced devs.
Exactly. And the other great thing is that you'll never run out of content, because we're always learning all the time. So if you keep doing that, you never run out of content, which I think is awesome. And that's why I'm never short on content myself as well.
One thing that I do think is a challenge though, if you are trying to create content and also like keep learning, is that I do find that sometimes like the content creation side of it can be so time consuming. And like, because it's such a creative endeavor, like you're having to think about like what's a good thumbnail, what's a good story, what's a good like idea for a video or whatever, and like how can I structure it, and then maybe editing it, and then like if there's any like preliminary research that you want to do and things like that. It can be a lot, but I want to share my little tip that I
Sure.
have discovered since doing DevRel, because in DevRel I'm doing it's super important to me that I'm getting a lot of dev time at work. For the last few months that's been super neglected for me, but um, my ideal schedule. I've got you. Okay. So what I actually do is I'll do a content week, and then I'll do a dev week. So
Okay.
the content weeks, I'm 100% focused on like everything related to content. When it comes to the community management side of things, it's all related to like our social media channels and things like that. The following week is all like I'm building projects with our stuff that I might use in a future video. I'm having my learning time that's completely like blocked out. Nobody can schedule meetings for me or anything like that during my learning time. Um, and I'm a developer that week. I'm a developer, and maybe I'll be helping with issues. I'll be helping with like PRs and discussions and things like that. And then it alternates. So like that can also be a great way if you're struggling with like all the context shifts that can happen if you're going back and forth between content and dev a lot.
That's hard.
Minimizing those switches I find helps a lot with just like having a good energy levels and being able to like do deep work on whichever topic it is that you're like working on it that week.
That's true. I think, batching things together, and sometimes you get in the flow into coding, and then you kind of think, oh, I have to create that content, and then context switching is really hard. I do like breaking mine up, but you've got to have, I think, focused work, like you said, for at least like 4 hours. I mean, everyone's different, but so I
Yeah,
think it's great that you're sharing what works for you.
yeah, totally. One thing that I actually do as well at work is I'll often set a Pomodoro. I use the Pomodoro technique a lot,
Okay.
but I'll actually do it less like, I mean, kind of traditionally, but I'll actually make it like an hour. My working session, I'll make it like an
Okay.
hour, and I actually won't check any comms during that hour. So I won't check any work DMs. I won't check my email. I won't do anything like that. But on the hour, when my timer's up, I'll check all my messages. I'll check everything that's going on in the Discord. I'll check my emails, and then I take my like quick little break, and then I reset. And so like it basically means I have like an hour of like full deep work that I can get into that's uninterrupted and fully focused on whatever the tasks are that I'm trying to get done. And I found that to be super valuable as well. Like just minimizing interruptions and things like that. Like I just read the book from Cal Newport on deep work, like
Okay.
read it as in listened to it in like on Audible.
I'm the same, so that resonates perfectly with me.
Yeah. And it was really good, very insightful, and like they actually did a great job as well of showing like real world applications of like of it. So like they actually used like Linus Torvalds as an example
Okay.
of like how he does deep work, and like a lot of different kind of like people in the industry. Because Cal is obviously like he's in the software development industry, so it was really interesting to see how different people minimize interruptions in their own ways. Like, but yeah, it was good. But based on that, I'm trying to do more and more deep work, and it's crazy valuable. The like how much better it is just for your overall like well being as well. You know.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely right. Mental health is super important. I think sometimes we get so passionate about what we're doing, we don't realize the time running away, and we forget to maybe take a break or eat or get some rest or whatever it is. So I think that's super important. You gave me the idea of maybe we should do a Twitter space. I saw Carl jumped into the chat as well, another one of our maintainers on EdiHub. Maybe we could do a Twitter space on being a maintainer, because
Yeah.
your project is really popular. So it'd be interesting to know how you manage pull requests and issues and so forth, because there are so many challenges, and people suddenly get conflicts because they've both changed the same file, and because of time zones, and these things might span over days, which is why I always recommend people keep your pull requests as small as possible. But it'd be
Yeah.
interesting to know how you deal with that, because your project is quite big.
Yeah, the charm tools are massive. Like they're some of the biggest tools in the Go space. Like
Yeah.
Bubble Tea in particular. Bubble Tea, I think that's definitely our like biggest repo. But yeah, across the board, I think we're over 50K stars, and like we've got a lot of
Wow.
active users and people. Actually, we're pretty much like the go-to for companies if they want to build the CLI with Go. They're
Okay.
using our stuff,
Okay,
so that's
that's
pretty cool.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is great. And I love the animated GIF. We had
Oh,
someone
just
in.
check out the website. You got to see the branding.
Okay.
So one of our co-founders who is like a crazy designer. So I should put it in chat so you can actually look at it.
Yeah, I was looking for it. Maybe in the
um,
org it will be
it's
there.
on the org, but
Okay,
it's
I've
not
got
there.
it. Here we go. Charm SH. Here we go.
So our designer is like insanely talented. But basically, the idea is that it's like making the terminal like more fun, because like we're all super passionate about like coding and we think it's all fun.
Yes.
But like allowing other people, it's like, yeah, your day-to-day experience working with your code can actually be super fun and glamorous and like bright pink and purple and all of that, and like it doesn't have to be just like the traditional like
Yes. Boring.
the traditional like boring command line interface, which is really fun. But yeah, I always tell my designer, I'm like, you have no right to be like this good of a designer and also write Haskell. Like
Yeah,
the audacity.
wow.
Like leave some for the rest of us, please.
Yeah,
Thanks.
exactly. The
That's like
naming
me
it.
with literally everyone on the team. I'm like, can you be like less good at everything? Thanks.
This is what do you call it? The website is amazing, and the design is really, really good, and the tool looks epic.
Yeah, we got lots of stuff in there. Everything command line. We love everything. Actually, probably the coolest, most applicable thing that we built recently is VHS.
Okay.
So that VHS actually allows you to programmatically generate GIFs. So you
I
can
see.
record in your terminal. You can like record your keystrokes, or you can, and it'll save to like a tape, VHS tape file.
I see.
And you can edit out whatever you want to change. So if you typoed or whatever, you can just like change it, and then
Wow.
you can just it'll convert it into a GIF, and makes it like super easy to do like demos and things like that. You can also do like
It's amazing.
MP4s or whatever. It's because it's FFmpeg, so it's just
Okay.
like whatever formats FFmpeg supports, you can output it to that. But it's
That
awesome.
that is amazing. And do you have to know Go to use it, or is it for someone who basically just wants the
No,
results? So that
No,
okay, perfect.
that one's one of our apps. So our apps, we have Go libraries, and we also have like applications that we've built with our libraries. So SoftServe, VHS, Melt. Melt is so SoftServe is like a self-hostable Git server.
Okay.
Melt is it's just for like backing up your SSH keys, so you can
Okay.
back them up to a seed phrase. And from the seed phrase, it will like regenerate your private key and public key pair, which
Got
is
you.
great if you lose them. Like
Yes.
your computer just like dies and you lose access to your stuff.
Um,
Especially if you're remote, like it's probably, or like remote as in like if you're like India and you're going like you're traveling a lot, it's like kind of nice sometimes to have it in a notebook or something.
I love this. I need to. I'm going to leave this open because I'm actually going to
Yeah,
install it
it's so
straight
good.
after the
Like
live stream. This is
literally,
perfect.
I've given them some like the direction. I'm excited to like see where it keeps going, because I'm like this can be like such a game changer for like coding tutorials and things like that. I'm just
Actually,
like,
can I put you on the spot? So before I
yeah,
do
totally.
that, Yash says the best UI UX ever seen, and Chris says, yeah,
Insane.
so cool. Uh, so my question is,
Yeah.
are you able to give us a demo of VHS? I'd love to see a demo.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that kind of is a demo, the
Oh,
VHS one.
okay.
So like that GIF there is was created with VHS, but you can see, so like basically what you do is you can either do like the VHS new and create a like whatever tape file you want, and it'll do kind
Okay.
of like uh um a oh wait, actually, yeah, I totally can. Hold on.
I can bring you. Let me know when you want me to bring your screen up. Should I bring your screen up?
Not yet. One sec.
Okay, no worries. But I just love to see it because someone who writes, documentation, who creates content, as
You
this
can
on a
show my screen
terminal.
now,
Okay,
I think.
your screen's up. Okay,
Okay, cool.
perfect. Who's ready
Yeah.
for this? Let's go.
So I have a bunch in here already, and I don't know which one actually works. But what we're gonna do is, so we can do VHS new, and then just say like whatever we want to call it. I'll call it Eddie.tape.
Okay.
And so now it'll create that tape file, and I can change it around. So it gives you like all of the info that you might want for being able to like make modifications
Got
to the
you.
file.
Okay.
So this is one way to do it. And so right now it would basically it would echo welcome to VHS. It's hard though because
I
I
see.
I'll have to share another thing with you. But basically it's literally as easy as you just do like VHS and like send in your tape file, and it
Right.
creates the GIF for you. And you can change like the font size and the width and the height and everything of the outputted GIF. And you can say like how long to sleep between like keystrokes and stuff like that. But my favorite way to do it actually, as of recently, is to use VHS record. There's actually a little bug with it right now that my coworker is fixing, so I have to start up Tmux to like have
Okay.
it not be a problem. But you could actually do you can do VHS record and have it output to like I'll do Eddie demo. But I'm really good at naming things in case that's not clear.
Naming is one of the hardest things ever.
So you can do that, and then so it opens up kind of like a new terminal prompt there for
Okay.
you. And so everything that you type in this prompt is like being like recorded to the tape file. So what that means is, so like I can open up Glow
Oh.
and I can like do some stuff. So I'll stash it, which means I hit S. I'll hit enter to open it up.
Okay.
I'll hit J as many times as I want to just like scroll, right? Like I'm just
Okay.
interacting with it like I normally would. And then
Yeah.
maybe I'll close it out. And then
Okay.
I'll hit Control D to exit. And then I can just do VHS and then the Eddie demo.
Okay.
And I need my little arrow there as well. There we go. And so now it's creating a GIF based on that tape file. But I can't actually. Can I make it stop doing that?
It wouldn't be a live demo if something didn't go wrong,
There we
so it's
go. There we
fine.
go.
Okay.
So I canceled it. So okay. So what's great about it is that it's recording it, but so you've got literally every
Oh.
sequence of things that you did while it was recording, you have in the tape file. So what's nice is that you can adjust everything. So like
So
you've
if you
got
made a typo, you can. That's what you were saying before. If you made a typo, you can
yeah
go fix it and then output the new video again.
yeah. So it's
That's
like
amazing.
it's literally it's incredible. Um, I'm really excited. Like I've got some features that I've requested as like someone who's creating like so many tutorials and things like that. I'm like, if we could do this where it's like recording, it basically creates a tape file based on a code file, and then you can output that to a GIF so that it's like looks like you're typing
Yes.
this code file while like, and you can explain it. I was like, that's my requested feature. I don't know if and when it's going to happen because it's like a free tool, right? But like,
Yeah.
we'll see.
That is amazing,
I
though.
would love
The
that.
amount of times I'm recording a video and or an animated GIF or whatever for for whatever socials, and
Yeah.
I make a typo and I have to kind of either edit it out, like redo it, edit it out, or start the whole process from the beginning again if I don't want to edit, do any video editing. So this is brilliant.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Okay, can I share a funny story about
Yeah, go
how we got
ahead.
the name Charm?
Okay. Oh, well, someone actually mentioned something about that. So
Yeah, so
I'm sure.
I just saw the comment and I'm
Perfect.
like,
Okay, tell us the story. Go ahead.
it's actually named after a Mariah Carey album. No joke. That is how the name Charm came to be about. They were like looking at different names. I think it was gonna be like Promises or something. And then they're like, oh no, Charm.
Okay.
We'll make it Charm. I think it's
And
yeah. If I recall correctly, that's what it. That's where it came from.
I think Carl asked a question. Is it like a VC backed company?
It is, yeah. So right now it's VC funded. So
Okay.
it's the like everyone on the team has they worked at like BetaWorks and like
Okay.
stuff like that. Like they basically are like well connected in that scene. So when they had mentioned like, yeah, we want to start a company around like developer tools for the command line and stuff like that, they had a lot of friends who are VCs who are like,
Got you.
all right, I believe in your vision. Let's do it. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's VC funded at the moment. We're kind of in like the pre-revenue stages still, and
Sure.
then yeah, obviously,
That is
yeah,
awesome. It's great. It's open, 100% open source, which I think is just
100% open
amazing.
source,
I absolutely love that. So
and like
people,
no telemetry or anything like that. So like not like doing creepy things.
yeah. So I think it's just
Like I
amazing.
have to say that because there was like some terminal stuff that came out kind of recently where I'm like, oh, I wouldn't use this.
Oh, we see. Okay, it's good to know. Yeah, I just think that's just awesome that it's open source, so people can use it, people can get involved in it. And how big is the company at the moment?
There's 8 of us, and
Okay.
seven of us are like developers.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I absolutely love that. Really, really good. I'm too busy excited thinking about installing VHS. I just can't wait to give
Isn't
it a
it
go.
awesome? Like it's such a game changer if you're having to create like demos and stuff like that for
Yes.
your projects. Like it's amazing. Or even as like B-roll for your videos, right? Like it's so
Yes.
good.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
So, what events have you got coming up in 2023? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna be going to GopherCon ideally.
Okay.
I hope it doesn't clash with TwitchCon because then I have to choose between the two.
Yeah, clashes are the worst. Actually, on that note, if I steal the screen share for a second,
Yeah.
no,
I don't need to share my screen anymore.
okay, no one judge me. I already went to the installation step on on VHS. Yeah, on the if I bring up the link-free project, I got tired of events clashing or people going to different events and clashing all the time, having to
Yeah.
choose. So on people's link-free profiles, so to give a quick example, and I'm telling this to everyone because there's a competition going on at the moment. Create your own profile, get some
Ooh.
GitHub Swag. But we started off with links like Linktree, the open source alternative to Linktree.
Yeah.
And then we did Polywork kind of feature where you've got your milestones. This needs a bit of a redesign.
That's cool.
But you've got kind of your milestones. And then the next thing we added, I think, was events. So people could put the events they're going to. And I'm going to come back to events in a moment. And then we've got testimonials, so people can write each other testimonials and so forth. And each time people make changes to their profile, add more links or add more tags or whatever it is, they get a green square because they have to do it via a pull request.
Yeah.
But the thing I love is the event section. Everyone has their event section, and you'd have to go to everyone's profile to find out, what events they're going to. But we aggregate them all into an overall event, so you can see these are the different people that are going to different events and so forth. And I was talking with Amanda, who's in the chat, who's really into maps and so forth. We're going to probably put a map above this page so people can see where the events are and you can
Yeah.
filter. And being a digital nomad, that really helps me. I can be like, right, I'm going to Japan. Who do I know in Japan? Let's kind of go and geek out with them at DevRelCon or something like that. So
That's so fun. I love that. Yeah, I'm such an introvert. I've actually got my own event that I'm probably gonna be hosting in sometime in February or March. Something about like tech memes. It's gonna be a
okay,
fun thing. It'll be fun. I haven't like announced it yet or like
okay,
done a ton of planning around it, like a little bit, but not a ton. Just because it's like first week of January and I'm like getting back in the swing at
yeah,
work. But yeah, I've got like some of my own events that I'm planning on doing that I'll often do like just through stream and stuff. I'll probably be doing a charity event again
awesome,
later this year. So like in November, I actually just did a charity event with my friend the Primogen, who basically he does it every year in November. Basically does like works with Just Giving for
oh
like
yes,
the Children's Miracle Network and like raising money for a local hospital for him. And yeah, we did like a 24-hour stream this year together to like raise money for it, and it was super fun. And so that was fun. And then yeah, I guess that, and then we're gonna be doing some like in-person events for Charm as well. But that's probably gonna be like kind of working with timing like for other events as well. But I don't know what those
okay.
events are yet. I haven't decided.
Got you. Well, keep us posted, and hopefully, maybe we can convince you one day to
Join Eddie
create.
Hub. Well, now that'll be like an easy way to tell everyone what events I'm doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Create a link-free profile and add your events there. I'm just sharing your. Because I think I saw part of your 24-hour live stream and it was just amazing. So I'm just sharing your YouTube.
It was fun. We built an interpreter for 12 hours, and then we played video games for 12 hours.
Okay.
And we were so done. We were so tired.
Awesome. I bet. Bashbunnis Twitch, and I've shared your Twitter in the chat. I'm guessing that's where you're going to announce a lot of the things that are coming up as well. So that's
I do it a lot in the Discord because I'm just bad at Twitter, but I'll do it on Twitter as well. Like Twitter, they'll know eventually. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep everyone up to date.
That sounds good. And you're almost at 10,000 followers, so hopefully we can get you to 10,000 followers in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so close. So
that would be awesome. And also on GitHub, you're approaching 2,000 followers, so that's awesome as well.
I don't even know how that happened, honestly. It's just by building in public, people are like, okay, cool. Exactly. They like my dot files. They honestly, they just follow me for my dot files. They love it.
Files are awesome.
They love my writing.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, we've been going for over an hour and I'm conscious of your time. I know you haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm keen for you to go get breakfast. I really, really appreciate you coming on a live stream with me and geeking out. Everyone, go follow Bashbunni on all the social platforms. They're in the chat. I just posted them. Also, a link in the description below.
I'm trying to grow YouTube the most right now. I'm stoked about it.
Okay, YouTube, you're doing pretty good on YouTube. Almost 8. So yes, let's do that. Let's help Bashbunni get to 8,000 on YouTube as well. And while you're down there, give this video a thumbs up as well. It really helps support the channel too. Awesome. Okay. So anything else you would like to share before we close?
I don't think so. I'm pretty happy. I feel like I've said my piece. Everything open source. I guess I would say get your GitHub swag. So do whatever Eddie says.
Yes. Let me pull up that tweet real quick, and so people can see, and I can actually share a link to that as well. So that's on my profile, and it's from like yesterday, I think it was. So it is here. There you go. It's the GitHub shop. So you'll be given
from the GitHub shop. Well, this was from the universe. I have so much GitHub swag. I spent way too much money there. I'm not like I like kind of don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet.
I was like, do I regret it? No, but
it's just so worth it.
It's so nice. It's so good. I gotta wear more of it. I got this really cool T-shirt from Universe that I gotta flaunt more.
All my photos usually have me with GitHub Swag and my laptop at some location.
Yeah, I'll be doing another. Oh, actually, I'm gonna be on the GitHub's README project soon. I don't know when.
Amazing.
They said it's going to be their first episode of the new year.
Awesome. So I'm not wearing my README hoodie, but I know it's upstairs on my office chair.
I love that you have so much GitHub merch. It's amazing.
But the GitHub README, have you had your hoodie yet from the README program?
No.
It is the best. I'm sure they'll send it to you afterwards. It is the best GitHub swag, like clothing-wise.
I mean, this is pretty good. This is my favorite so far.
That is pretty awesome.
But I do love the hoodies though. I have a GitHub hoodie as well. It's very good. Again, I spent way too much money. I'm pretty sure I bought their whole store.
Leave some swag for other people. But no, congratulations on being on the GitHub README. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. Their team is amazing. I had a really fun time getting to know their DevRel team while I was at Universe. Yeah. So that was really, really fun. And I'm excited to do more collabs with them in the future.
You should definitely do that. And Brian, who I think is no longer at GitHub, who does open sourced, like as in ketchup sauce sort of thing.
Oh my gosh, I love. Oh wait, yeah, I think.
B Doogie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we met. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff.
I'm so bad with names. I'm really the worst.
Yeah, me too. I call him B Doogie because that's what his Twitter says. And Sarah says, you got to call him Brian. But he does a lot of, I was on a Twitter space with him yesterday. Actually, that's a other good person to join the maintainers Twitter space. I will send
Yeah.
out some messages and see who wants to join.
That'd be awesome. I would love that. I've got some
Okay.
cool. I've got some friends who are like maintainers of pretty big projects as well. So
That'd be amazing.
I can also reach out to them.
That would be great. And one last comment I see Carl says, love the Twitch channel. I like it more for live streams. I thought about building something live with 0 viewers. We all start off with 0. Twitter,
Honestly,
YouTube, we all do.
It was easier to focus when there were 0.
And you can make more mistakes, I
Milk
think.
it. Yeah. Because I
Sounds
just used
good.
it for like time, like time blocks to like have like working on side projects. But like now they all just want to talk to me all the time, and I'm like, shut up, chat. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't think.
No, you shouldn't. The chat is amazing. Cut. No, the chat is awesome, but you just find that balance between doing work and being coding.
Yeah.
Doing work and catching up with the chat and so forth.
You adjust, you adapt,
Yes, you get better,
Yeah.
I think, as well as practice.
which means I work off stream.
Yeah. Well, have a great day, because I know it's early morning for you, and go get some breakfast. And thank you again so much. And I will organise
Thanks for
that Twitter
having me.
space.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to bring up the, I forgot to say this before we went live, because I had some technical issues. I want to bring up the 1-minute timer. If you can hang on, I'd love to thank you personally. If you can't, just drop
Yeah,
off.
for
That's
sure.
also fine.
No, I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, everyone. Follow Bashbunny, give the video a thumbs up, and we'll see you in our Discord or the Bashbunny Discord. So we'll see you all soon. Bye, everyone.
Kat also says bye.
Oh, bye, Kat.